What if the man you married wasn't who he said he was? What if behind the money, the charm and luxury was a secret that could destroy you? This is the story of Adelaide, a woman who thought she had found the man of her dreams. But by the time she realized the truth, it was too late, and her silence came at a heavy price. Stay with me, because this story will leave you asking, was it love or just a trap dressed in wealth? In Kaswa, where the city's noise fades into a strange kind of peace, lived Adelaide Asari, a beautiful, ambitious, and deeply church-rooted woman. She was 30 years old, a graduate, and the head of marketing at a rising fintech firm. Everyone around her kept asking the same question. Adi, when are we coming to eat jollof? Her younger sister was already married. Her friends had kids. Even her pastor had dropped a subtle hint during one Sunday sermon. Delay is not denial, but sometimes delay is a sign. So when she met Nathaniel Owusu at a business conference in Accra, it felt like divine timing. He was tall, smooth, charming, and dripping with wealth. His suits fit like they were stitched by angels, and his accent hinted at years in Europe. He owned a chain of logistics companies, at least that's what he said. He courted Adelaide like royalty. Dinners at Kimpiski, surprise flowers at work, weekend trips to Elmina. In less than 5 months, he proposed in front of the Labadi beach during a private yacht cruise. Adelaide said yes. Her parents were uneasy. Her mother, in particular, said, "My daughter, this man's life is too fast. You must pray. Ask God." But Adelaide shrugged it off. She was 30 and love had come. And it had come rich. They married in a grand ceremony in the Trasaco Valley with gold-trimmed decor, celebrity guests, and a honeymoon in Barcelona. The first year was bliss. Breakfast in bed, matching outfits, date nights, social media envy. But then, things began to change. Nathaniel started traveling more. First, it was business in Dubai, then Amsterdam, then Mexico. He no longer answered her calls with warmth. Sometimes he'd return smelling strange, tired, and distant. One night, Adelaide asked, "Nate, what exactly do you do in all these countries?" He laughed it off, kissed her forehead, and said, "You worry too much, sweetheart. Just enjoy your life." But Adelaide couldn't rest. She began digging. One afternoon, she searched his private study while he was away, and what she found shattered her world. Hidden in a drawer were packets of white powder, fake passports, burner phones, and ledgers filled with coded payments from cartels across West Africa. Her blood ran cold. She decided to confront him when he returned, but before she could even speak, he pulled out a folder filled with photos and videos of her doing things she couldn't explain. Things she didn't even remember doing during their wild honeymoon in Spain. That night, Adelaide broke. She had no one to tell, no proof she was innocent. So, she became a shadow. She wore luxury gowns and smiled at parties, but inside, she was crumbling. She began using the drugs to numb herself. Cocaine, ecstasy, anything that silenced the guilt. And then came the night that changed everything. A drug deal in Abidjan went wrong. Gunfire erupted. In the chaos, Nathaniel was shot in the head, right before her eyes. Adelaide screamed. covered in blood and ran. But the police were waiting. She was already surrounded. She got arrested. On trial, she pleaded guilty to possession and trafficking. No one believed she was a victim. So she was sentenced to 15 years in Nsawam prison. Her parents visited. Her mother cried. Her father held her hand in silence. That's when she knew she was still loved. The first year was hell. She cried every day, stopped eating, stopped talking, but then something changed. In her second year in prison, she met Mama Essie, a former addict who quietly told her, "It's through fire that gold is made pure." That moment changed everything. Adelaide began reading, helping in the library, and reflecting. From then on, Adelaide joined a prayer group, taught fellow inmates, and began slowly healing, one quiet day at a time. At 45, Adelaide walked out of prison with nothing but a Bible, a torn journal, and a heavy heart. Her parents were waiting. They took her to a small house in Amasaman, far from the life she once knew. After weeks of silence, she found work at a quiet bookshop, sweeping floors and stacking books. The owner never asked about her past. Adelaide didn't talk too much herself. She just worked. She no longer needed to prove anything, just to live better than yesterday. So in the end, Adelaide's story reminds us of this. When you choose without caution, you may live with the consequences far longer than expected. She had beauty, options, and love knocking, but she ignored wisdom for comfort and paid a price deeper than she ever imagined. Now, let me ask you, if you could go back and rethink one major decision in your life, what would it be? Let's talk in the comments. And if you found a lesson in this story, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more stories. See you in the next one.